Hi, and thank you for visiting my channel. For more information, kindly subscribe and follow. Now let's get started.
For the past few months, Kevin Owens has been on a rampage, becoming a force to be reckoned with. The prizefighter has been unhinged, destroying his closest allies one after another, the most recent victim being his longtime friend Sami Zayn. With his actions transcending the heights of ferocity, a WWE legend might return from hiatus to teach KO a lesson. WrestleMania season has officially kicked off, and Randy Orton could be gearing up for his comeback on the upcoming episode of SmackDown. The Viper has been away from television since receiving a ruthless piledriver from Owens in November last year. Therefore, the desire for revenge could be burning within him, which might prompt Orton to come back. The Apex Predator might return next week, looking to put an end to Kevin Owens' terror on SmackDown. He could launch an unhinged attack on the prizefighter, punishing the latter for all his despicable acts. The possibility of Randy Orton returning on the upcoming episode of the Blue Brand ahead of Elimination Chamber is quite good. It is because Owens' mayhem has reached a whole new level, and Orton seems to be the only man who could stop him at this point. The Viper coming back from hiatus could lead to the highly anticipated feud between him and KO. Besides, the road to WrestleMania has begun, and keeping Randy Orton away from WWE would be a missed shot. Will Kevin Owens receive a dose of his own medicine next week? It remains to be seen, as the above angle is currently speculation. Kevin Owens to face Randy Orton at WrestleMania 41? WrestleMania 41 is just 2 months away, and KO's direction for the spectacle remains unclear. Ever since turning heel, the former Universal Champion has made several enemies. With Randy Orton already seething for revenge, Kevin Owens made a new enemy on Raw in the form of Sami Zayn. As a result, fans have been wondering who the prizefighter would face at the grandest stage of them all. There is a good possibility that KO might face Zayn at WrestleMania 41 instead of Orton. It is because WWE would not kickstart a new rivalry for him on the road to WrestleMania when the Viper wasn't already there. Kevin Owens attacking Sami Zayn on Raw seems to be an indication that the Triple H-led creative is sowing the seeds of a potential encounter between the two Canadians. Although this match could take place at Elimination Chamber, the chances of it happening at this year's Mania are relatively high. Meanwhile, WWE could start the feud between Zayn and the prizefighter in the coming weeks, leading to a match at the upcoming Spectacle in Toronto. The Stamford-based promotion may postpone the feud between Orton and Owens for the post-Mania season, which would pave the way for a long-term storyline. Kevin Owens had always been a problem, but after his latest antics on SmackDown, things had escalated to a whole new level. His unhinged, no-nonsense approach had made him both beloved and feared. However, the line had been crossed when he delivered brutal stunners to multiple WWE officials, including SmackDown General Manager Nick Aldis. It wasn't just a case of Owens losing his temper, this was an all-out rebellion. Nick Aldis had tried to rein Owens in, even suspending him for a week, but the prizefighter didn't care. He returned unannounced, blindsiding the GM once again and leaving him sprawled out on the mat. The WWE Universe was stunned. SmackDown needed order, and Aldis knew he couldn't handle Owens on his own anymore. That's when he made the call. Aldis, battered and still reeling from Owens' attack, stood in the ring on the next episode of SmackDown, microphone in hand. Aldis addresses the chaos. "Ladies and gentlemen," Aldis began, his voice still carrying the pain from last week's ambush. "Kevin Owens thinks he can do whatever he wants. He thinks he can put his hands on officials and face no consequences. Well, I have news for him." The crowd buzzed in anticipation. Owens had gone unchecked for weeks, and Aldis' words hinted at something big. "Kevin, you want to run around like a loose cannon? That's fine. But now, you're going to have to answer to a force even you can't escape. You like fighting? Well, you've picked the wrong fight this time." Before Aldis could continue, Owens' theme hit, and the arena erupted in cheers and jeers. The prizefighter marched down the ramp, mic in hand, a cocky smirk on his face. "Oh, Nick, Owens mocked. "Do you ever get tired of whining? I mean, you've been out here for what? 3 minutes? And I'm already bored." Owens rolled into the ring, standing face to face with the GM. "I get it. You're upset because I put my hands on you. But you're forgetting one thing, I don't work for you. I work for WWE, and last I checked, I was doing what I do best, entertaining these people." The fans roared in agreement, but Aldis wasn't moved. "You think this is a joke, Kevin?" Aldis asked. "Well, let's see if you're still laughing after this." A long pause followed. Then, a familiar theme shakes the arena. Glass shatters. The unmistakable sound of breaking glass sent the entire arena into an absolute frenzy. The return of a legend had just been confirmed. Stone Cold Steve Austin was back. Owens' face, once full of arrogance, now showed a flicker of uncertainty. He had idolized Austin growing up, even adopting the stunner as his own finishing move. But now? Now he was face to face with the original Texas Rattlesnake. Austin stormed down the ramp, wearing his signature black vest, and stepped into the ring. The crowd was deafening as he stared down Owens. Aldis, satisfied with his move, stepped aside. Austin grabbed a microphone, raised it to his lips, and let the crowd simmer down just enough to be heard. "You know, Kevin," Austin started, pacing around Owens. "I've been watching ya. You're tough. You're mean. You don't take crap from anybody. And I respect that." Owens crossed his arms, his confidence slowly creeping back. "But there's one thing I don't respect," Austin continued. "And that's you putting your hands on an official. You see, back in my day, I raised hell, I whooped Vince McMahon's ass more times than I can count. But I didn't just go around dropping people for the hell of it. You want to be a rebel? That's fine. But now, you gotta answer to me." Owens smirked. "Oh, really? And what exactly are you gonna do, old man?" The crowd gasped. Owens had just poked the bear. Austin smirked back. "Oh, I thought you'd never ask." Without warning, bam! Austin dropped Owens with a thunderous stunner. The crowd exploded as Owens flopped to the mat like a fish out of water. Austin grabbed 2 beers, cracking them open and celebrating over Owens' fallen body. A showdown for the ages. The following week, Owens, furious after being embarrassed by Austin, cut a fiery promo. "Austin, you think you can just show up, hit me with a stunner, and leave? No. This isn't 1999. This is my show now, and if you think you're going to teach me a lesson, you've got another thing coming." That same night, Austin responded in his usual fashion, straight to the point. "You want to fight, son? You got it." It was set, Kevin Owens vs. Stone Cold Steve Austin at Survivor Series. Survivor Series, a brutal war. When the night finally arrived, the match was everything fans had hoped for. Owens and Austin brawled all over the arena, trading blows, using steel chairs, and even smashing each other into the announce table. Owens, despite his arrogance, proved he was every bit the fighter Austin was. At one point, he even reversed a stunner and hit Austin with one of his own, nearly getting the pin. But in the end, Austin dug deep, landing a devastating stunner of his own, securing the 1-2-3 and proving that he was still the toughest SOB in WWE. After the match, Austin, exhausted but victorious, helped Owens up. For a moment, it seemed like a show of respect, until bam! Another stunner for Owens. Austin laughed, grabbed a few beers, and celebrated in classic Stone Cold fashion, while Owens lay on the mat, realizing he had just been outclassed by the legend himself. The aftermath. Owens, humiliated but enlightened, acknowledged Austin's dominance in the weeks that followed. Though he never outright apologized, his actions changed. He stopped attacking officials and redirected his rage toward his actual opponents. As for Austin, he rode off into the sunset, having taught yet another generation the meaning of don't trust anybody. And that's the bottom line, 'cause Stone Cold said so.